Hi everyone. Did you know that schools with effective curriculum management see a 20% increase in student success rate? Unbelievable, right? That is just one of the reasons why today I want us to zoom into the process of curriculum management for maximum success in education. Let's talk about why curriculum is a big deal. I think we need to have an understanding of what curriculum is all about. And I think that it refers to the academic content that must be taught in a school. And it is what learners are required to encounter, study, practice, and master. And again, to add on that, it entails taking decisions about what must be taught, how it should be taught, and when it should be taught. So basically, that is what curriculum is all about. The second concept that I think we need to have a better understanding of before we can go any further in terms of our today's topic is the concept of curriculum management. Curriculum management is the process or the system of executing the primary function of the education system, which is about managing the issue of teaching and learning. That is what curriculum management is all about. So in a school setup, all the other aspects that we have there, they are just secondary things, but the most core function of our education system is to manage teaching and learning. Now I want us to zoom into the 4 important structures that are needed in a school in order to ensure that there's effective curriculum management. So the first one is the principal, who is regarded as the instructor of curriculum delivery. And the principal is responsible for managing curriculum and to ensure that the deputy principal is responsible for putting in place the systems and have structures that are needed to ensure the optimal delivery of curriculum. So that is the first important structure that should be there in a school to guarantee us to have effective curriculum management. And secondly, it is the deputy principal, whom we describe as the driver of curriculum delivery in a school. And this particular person has to ensure that the HOD or HODs have relevant systems and structures in place to ensure the curriculum delivery in their departments. So that is the second important structure in a school that is needed to ensure effective curriculum management. And thirdly, it is the HODs or HOD, okay, or the head of department, whom we regard as the engine of the curriculum delivery in a school. And this particular person is accountable to manage the department effectively and efficiently to ensure that he or she reports directly to the deputy principal in terms of how the curriculum is being delivered at the school, right? And fourthly, which is the fourth one, it's about the educators or educator, all right? This is the person who is, in other words, representing the wheels of a car, if I may put it in that way or in that particular analogy, okay? That the educators or an educator becomes the wheels of the car, in the sense that they must be responsible for ensuring that learners are being taught, assessed, and given feedback. So those are the 4 important structures that are supposed to be in system or in place to ensure that curriculum is being managed effectively in a school. I spoke about the principal, who is the curriculum instructor, and then secondly, the deputy principal, who becomes the driver of curriculum delivery in a school, and then thirdly is the HOD, who becomes the engine of curriculum delivery, and the fourth one is the educator, who is representing the wheels of curriculum delivery in an analogy of a car. If you are enjoying the video and you want to see your school being successful when it comes to this process of curriculum management, I invite you to remain seated, because I still have more strategies and more information to share in terms of how we can implement curriculum management processes in our schools to ensure the maximum performance of our learners. Allow me to indicate that we also have other supporting structures that are supposed to be in place in a school in order to ensure that there's effective curriculum management. And first of those is the SET structure, which is the school assessment team, which is the structure which oversees the conducting of assessments in a school. So that is the additional structure that should be there in order to ensure that the curriculum is being managed effectively. And then the second one is the Psych Committee, which is the School Assessment Irregularity Committee, which is the committee which is responsible to oversee the issue of any assessment irregularity conducted at the school, or to investigate and come up with the relevant sanctions based on the assessment irregularity conducted either by the teacher or learners. And this particular structure should be headed by the IDSO of the school or the cluster leader. Okay, so that is the second important structure that supports curriculum delivery in a school. And the third one is the school-based support team, which is commonly known as the SBST. This is the structure that is responsible to ensure that learners who have barriers to learning due to various reasons are supported. If ever there's a need for them to be referred to institutions that are best suited to address their needs, that particular process should be conducted, and this is the structure which is responsible for that. Let us now dive into the management cycle of the curriculum management. So in terms of us ensuring that we implement curriculum management effectively in a school, there is this particular process that we need to follow, which is about the management cycle. And the management cycle is divided into different stages or steps that we need to ensure that they are in place. First of all, it's plan. We know that in order for anything to happen at a school, there should be planning. So planning is the first important step of the management cycle when it comes to curriculum management. That is wherein you look into the school calendar, and then using the school calendar you develop different plans, such as the school assessment plan, the departmental head plan, wherein there are activities that are assigned or planned to take place in a particular period of time. So planning is very important in such that without it, the likelihood of us having effective curriculum management is equal to nil. Then secondly is monitoring. So after having developed plans, those plans should be monitored in terms of their implementations. It is of no use to come up with plans and you have them written in black and white, but when it comes to monitoring those plans, you are weak. So it is more like if you don't have those particular plans. So the second important step of the management cycle of curriculum management is monitoring the implementations of the plans that have been developed. Okay. Then the third one is about control. Control is all about ensuring that that what is being conducted by different stakeholders is being controlled. Like for instance, I can give an example of educators' files that have to be controlled by the HOD to check on the content covered according to the ATP. And this also involves the issue of looking at the learners' books to control them, to ensure that that what has to be taught and the amount of what has to be in their books is according to the expectations or according to the policy. So that is the third important management cycle stage, which is control. Right, moving right along, the next one is on the support and development. All right, so it is expected that as you continue with the process of curriculum management, there will be instances whereby you will have to support teachers in terms of what they are expected to teach in the classroom. Departmental heads, it's their responsibility to support and develop educators regarding the content that they are supposed to teach the learners in the classrooms, right? Then the last one is about accountability. Accountability is all about ensuring that at different levels there are reports that are compiled to report on the process of curriculum management when it comes to the amount of content that has been covered. So the teacher is going to report to the departmental head, and the departmental head will report to the deputy principal to the principal, and the principal can also report to the IDSO or the cluster leader of the school. So that is about the management cycle of curriculum management, which we should ensure that it is implemented in our institutions in order to have the smooth implementation of a curriculum management process.